Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. The beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to start the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they come in right at 500, looking to get that win to bump them back above 500.
This game means a lot to them because of what you just talked about. When you can bump yourself over 500, it's a lot of optimism in your building as you move forward in the season.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by Gardner Minshew, sixth-round selection in 2019 out of Washington State. First carry for Leonard Fournette. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game as we just saw there.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A second straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
Now Minshew. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A quick throw finding Lee out wide. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. It'll be Minshew again. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Hey, 44, Mike, 44. So don't say nothing. Check your hot read.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week, the hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Jones has it, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The open man is Westbrook. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching up another 15 against your squad.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Minshew. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
They held them to just 7 points, and in reviewing the game tape, I'm wondering how they got the 7. I actually wrote a note to myself. How did they even score? The way they were playing, absolutely dominating on their side of the ball.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught by Lee. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams. And that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. They begin the drive with Johnson. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. From the 50 and Stafford. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He'll check this one off to Fournette. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. These two teams all tied after 1. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today. So they got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
A big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
Easy. Check.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Check. Hey, fly low. Middle. Hey, high 7.
Second down and goal. Stafford, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Lions have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Throwing on first down is Minshew. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On second and 10, it's Minshew. And his throw here is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. A good rally to the football holds him to 2, and that brings up a 4th down.
Well, they dialed up the screen there, hoping that convoy of blockers could get out in front and get them enough yardage for the first down, but they were able to get there before he got to the sticks.
This is fielded at the 7. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Squeeze, squeeze, double, double. You got tight. You got tight. You got tight. 22.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 25 yards that time.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Out of the gun, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. Would you work your tight end into it? That's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Minshew sets to throw. He's got his tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes. That's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20.
Check, check. Lucky.
Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's now 10 of 10 throwing the ball here to start the game. Operating from the gun, Stafford. This complete to Jones. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. 4th touchdown pass in the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. From the 31. Minshew, oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Minshew, 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Marquise Lee, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll throw now on the final play. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. We have hit halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. And they start the second half with Johnson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
On first down, it's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Double right. Shift. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Blue 60. Here we go.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
I got you, boy.
Now it's Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
70. Go.
From the gun, Stafford. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Ready. Hey, switch gears. Hey, 22. 32. Get wide. He's checking.
On 4th down, Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Matthew Stafford does it again. 5 touchdown passes. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
As far as tight ends go, if you get 3 or 4 touchdowns in a season, that's usually counted as a pretty good year.
And CD, he just hit double digits. That's 10 touchdowns for him now.
Yeah, and that's something you really have to applaud. That's elite-level production.
Extra point good by Prater, and that'll increase their lead to 28. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Again, it's Fournette. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. They'll try to throw for it with Minshew. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Deferring to Armstead on the draw. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He's got the hook up to Lee. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. This quarterback now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver, and it's third down. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Minshew throwing on third down. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They pass up the 3, fake it, it doesn't work. And the Lions will take over.
I'm just going to go ahead and call it, partner. You could smell the desperation in that fake, couldn't you? Down big, they had to try something. No one was fooled.
I think you're exactly right. With this deficit, though, go ahead and give it a shot. Didn't work out. In the end, I guess it doesn't hurt him too much. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. It's a big play there for the Lions. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Johnson running right. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Stafford to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
15, Lonnie. 15, Lonnie. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Don't get nervous.
It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Looking to throw it. Minshew throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
54, right there, 54. Oh, you got D? 54. Let's go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Minshew. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And he finds his target. It's sharp. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it in.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Josh Allen, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now a give right side. Anthony. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Hooking up here with Trent Taylor. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, You don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
22.
They'll keep it on the ground. Anthony. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Minshew. The open man is Westbrook. Call it a gain of 5. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw again on 2nd down. Minshew, the running back Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He's got his tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. It'll be Minshew again. And this is caught at the 8. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's